Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make you eat. Are you hungry? Good Wednesday morning. Hey, everybody. My name's Cassie, and I will be your cruise director for today. Larry is not feeling so great, so I'm stepping in. We've both been a little under the weather this week, and I'm feeling well, and he's not doing so great. But good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you. We're going to say good morning to everybody. I hope y'all have been doing well since I've seen you last. It was last week I did a live. So hello. We got Aaron in the house. Aaron says he needs to cut back on cheese again. I'll tell you, that cheese is a slippery slope, isn't it? Hello, Lisa. Good morning to you. And the lovely Kel. Good morning. Hello, V. Osborne. How's everybody doing today? Shell Bell. Good morning. And hello, Maureen. She says, good morning, friends. And we've got Miss Gidget. Hello, Gidget. Gidget says, good morning. Day 2. Back on. I need to learn not to let stress of others wait. Let me try that again. I need to learn not to let the stress of others put on me. Led to a binge. I feel like a zombie with no way to stop it. Thanks for being here, girl. You are preaching to the choir, because you know what? Today for me is day 1. It's not funny. I don't know why I laugh about it. I'll do so great. The first week getting back on, I was strict. I was mostly carnivore, and I had lost 11 pounds of water weight that first week. And well, y'all know, you know how it works. Sometimes stress, sometimes just the longing for the foods that we miss. Sometimes we're in mourning, we're grieving that we can't eat those foods anymore, that we shouldn't. And yeah, we'll get into that today. But hello, Cindy. You're in good company, Gidget. You know that. Cindy, good morning. And congrats on getting back on day 2. Day 2, yeah. Awesome. Tammy says, good morning. Alternate day fasting is going well. I weighed in this morning and down another pound. The days I don't have to think about food kind of seems easier to me. I can tell I'm shifting from feeding to fueling. That's the best space to be in, is when you are in that mindset of it's fuel, it's not food. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm happy for you. I'm a little envious that you're in that spot. I was there, and it's a great place to be. So congratulations on that. Hello, Jessica. Good morning. Good morning to you. All right. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. I've been doing some pretty cool things. Hey, yeah, Cindy sees it as me. Good morning. Good morning, Cassie. Good to see you. I'm glad I made it to live. I'm glad you're here too. So in my mind, when we're in this state of the backslide and back on and the back and forth, right? It's almost like the yo-yo, right? But not with the weight, just with the day. I try to prepare myself. I'm like, okay, I'm really going to do this. And I'll go out, shop, I'll buy a bunch of meat or, keto approved foods, and I'll stock up. I have a bag of lettuce rotting in the fridge right now. I rarely have it. When I do get into my little salad era, I guess you could say, I'll buy a lot and I'll have salad on the regular. No, I haven't even touched it. I haven't even touched the lettuce, not once. And I've been saying that with the weather being so hot, it's just too hot to work out, to go outside. I mean, you can, if you want, go for it, but 106 with a heat index, no, I'm okay with that. I bought an indoor piece of workout equipment. Guys, I have all the workout equipment anybody could possibly ever want, and it's all sitting there collecting dust. I had even recently bought a, I don't know if y'all know about the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. So we have one. We've had one, and it's so much fun. But they have like workout games, right? There's the Wii Sports Plus, Wii Fit. I have the Wii Fit. And I just bought another one. I think it's Jillian Michaels. I found it at a thrift store for like $1 or something like that. I bought that. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I've got all the TVs in the world, all the room in the world, and yet I fail to start. Recently, I went to, I don't know if y'all are familiar with MacBid. It's something that it's a online bidding auction, I guess you could say, auction site. And then if you win that bid, you go up and you pick it up. Well, I bought something, and it's a brand new rebounder, right? Trampoline rebounder. Guess where it is? It is still sitting in the back of the truck, unopened. It's yet to come in the house. So that's where I am. But yeah, that's where I am. It's like gathering all my information and everything that I need, getting all the pieces together to hit it hard again. I'm in a funk, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm in a funk. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Nancy, because Nancy Haggard. She's been very active in this morning community accountability lives, and she is doing so good. Is she in here? I know I want to see if she's in here. I don't know. I hope I didn't miss her, because she got by it. She is on day 2 now, and sometimes just getting beyond that first 24 hours, getting beyond the first, 16 hours that you're awake, it is very, pardon me, I'm still dealing with my thing. It's very difficult to get by. And Nancy, you did it. You did it, lady. So I hope you're in here today, and I hope you have a report for us. I know Larry did that video on mentioning you yesterday. So I'm really excited to hear how everything's going for you. Hello, Deb. How are you? Happy Wednesday morning. Hi, Sam. Sam says, oh my goodness. Good morning, Cassie and CQ crew. Say that 10 times fast. Yeah. Day 1, better than day none. Let's go, Cassie. Heck yeah, right? See, I love that. Y'all are real people. Real people. Because I've been thinking about this. My last video, I don't know how many of you saw it, about some of the reasons I stepped away. There were several other reasons. I just kind of generalized it to 2 really important things, and one of them was the trolls, and it's just dealing with them. So I'm reading all of these amazing comments from you, and they're great. I love them, and it encourages me, it encourages Larry, but not only does it encourage us, it encourages you and then everybody else who's reading the comments or who is in here. It's that accountability, that support is so incredibly important. And my point is, y'all are real people. Now, if I were to go and hang out with a circle of friends and say, hey, I'm on my way, I'm not doing so great on my diet, and I'm trying really hard to make things work, I lost 5 pounds, people would be absolutely ecstatic. You lost 5 pounds? Wow, that's great. Congratulations. Good for you. And, well, I'm not doing it perfectly, but blah, blah, blah. You're not going to get that here. And, you won't get that. You get that from some of the trolls that they do the opposite. They're rude, and their comments are just nasty. You all know that. I'm not going to go into that, but this is my point right here. Is that y'all are just so lovely. Lovely and supportive, and I love y'all. I'm glad. Hey, Charles Davis. Boy, you have been with us for a very long time, and because I'm not always active, I have not seen that name in a long time. I'm really glad to see you here today. And you said, Kat, good morning. Are you still dealing dice and cards? The answer is yes. In fact, I am about to up my game. So I was asked, it's been 10 years since I'd been in the casino business, and I jumped in head first, knocking some serious rust off of my skills. I was really good, and I am still really good, but, I made some mistakes. And the point is that they had asked me after about dealing 2 months, they asked me if I wanted to move up and get a promotion, start wearing a suit. It's a dual rate position where like 2 days a week ideal, and the rest of the time I'm a floor supervisor, which is great because I get the best of both worlds. So anyway, long story short, yes, I'm about to go full time. Maybe we'll see if everything works out and we agree to each other's terms, then it's going to be great. If not, I'm perfectly content just dealing because I enjoy that. Becky says the rebounder I have tried are so hard it doesn't feel comfortable. I'm sure jumping up and down, you got all this extra skin and things just bouncing around. That is not comfortable at all. I get you. So I'm thinking some serious spanks are in order, but it's still in the car right now, right along with some other things. It's crazy. Gidget, I have a desk treadmill and weights, but there is a wall up. I have no motivation, no energy. I'm praying for all of us. Gidget, I understand. I get it so much. It is not easy, not at all. But speaking of easy, Nancy is in the house. Nancy, congratulations. Are you on day 2? How are you feeling? Because I noticed for me, day 2, it's like, okay, I feel a lot better. And by the end of the week, I felt amazing. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody or anything, but we know the difficulties that are in our future. And I know you can do this. I know if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Even though I'm stumbling right now, I'm still fighting hard every single day, which is something pre-carnivore that I would never have done. I'd get on my little diet, lose my little bit of weight. After the event was over, the reason I lost it was usually just for visual, right? Because I want to be happy with how I look. And a wedding or the event or whatever it was, vacation, it was over. I would go right back to my old eating ways and gain. And then I wouldn't even think about dieting again and for forever. But yeah. Thank you, Cher. She says, good morning. Happy to see you. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see what Erin's got to say. Erin says, I find I do better when I treat each day as day 1. If I try and say I won't drink pop for a month, I fail. When I take it day by day, I do better. Hey, and that is what works for you. What works for you isn't going to necessarily work for somebody else. I mean, we all have tools in the toolbox, right? For some people, they need to get on the scale every single day for their accountability. Others, it'll discourage them. They see they go up half a pound and they're like, that's it, I'm done, and done it myself. It's very frustrating when you work so hard and you don't understand why the scale's going on. I think that's something that we could sorry guys. I think that's something that we could work on, like loading our toolbox with the right tools. Alfie Boy's in the house. Says, hey y'all, great to see you, Cassie. I'm gonna have to catch up on the replay as I'm busy sorting through all my stuff, throwing away a bunch of stuff, drowning in my own stuff. Hey, I know that. And guess what? I go to Bin Time. I go to the thrift stores, and we also have Bin Time and MacBid. There's just too much thrifting, too many good deals. Oh, okay. All right. I did, Nancy. I don't know how. I'm scanning through. Anyway, I am super happy for you. She says, you must have missed my last comment. I made it through last night and this morning. Yay! Good for you. Good for you, Nancy. I'm really happy for you. Keep going with that momentum. If you got it, go with it. Don't let it go. If you are on a good roll, don't let it go. Don't let go. Proud of you. Good for you. A fat, sarcastic Star Trek fan. Good morning. Hope you're doing great. And Shell Bell, she's got some congratulatory words for you. You're rocking out, Nancy. Keep on keeping on. Absolutely. I love this. See, and here's a message for Erin. I also do better going day by day. Nancy says, thank you all for rooting me on. And oh man, guys, if you ever need the best security guard in the house, this is Ribeye Ted, also known as Ribeye Ted. Thank you. It's not exactly a promotion yet. Like I said, we got to seal the deal. That they have to meet my terms too. I'm not just going in for nothing. But they know what they got. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I've noticed the flushing of the fluids. Yes, ma'am. For me, day 2 is always when I begin what I like to call the great drain. When you're on the toilet, expelling extra fluid from your body 10 to 12 times a day, if not more. So good for you. Isn't that a great feeling though? And then after, 4 or 5 days, you're going to start to feel not as tight. Your skin's going to loosen up because you're not holding all that fluid. Okay, I need to read this one because I need to know about the rebounder. I've heard a lot about it, never bought it. I'm like, I'm not spending the money on it. You got plenty of other things to do or to use. For criminy sakes, I have this beautiful countryside to walk in. But anyway, I figured if I'm loaded up, there should be no excuses. The best way to use a rebounder is to actually just bounce without jumping up and down. Okay, it's amazing for lymphatic drainage. And even if you're only on for 5 to 10 minutes, it has amazing benefits. I think any type of workout or movement is better than none. Okay, I got you. Now I understand, Becky. Yeah. Oh, we got a question. Okay, let's see. Sam Sapphire. Hi, Cassie and CQ Squad. I was wondering if y'all use whipped butter. I saw it at Walmart and was wondering if it's good to put on meat or only good on bread and should stick with the stick butter. You know what? I'm not sure. I would definitely read the ingredients on the back just to make sure that it's A-okay. Brand does matter in terms of quality. So yeah, check the back. I mean, I have whipped my butter before. But I don't know. I've made my own whipped butter. You can just whip it yourself. Or if you don't want to deal with a mess, then you could certainly buy it. La-ti-da. I'm working my head to get back. I've been dealing with heartfelt grief, and it's just so consuming. I haven't given up. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Miss La-ti-da, we got any prayer warriors out there? Keep her in your prayers, and for those who aren't, keep her in your thoughts and send some good vibes, please. I hope you get into a better season soon enough. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're going through, but I've been down that road of despair and just feeling helpless, and nothing really else matters in the world. You're just consumed by your grief. I'm so sorry. Yeah, exactly, Maureen. That's correct. See? I didn't even have to answer that one. You guys did it for me. I'll just sit back and I'll just read the comments. I mean, that sounds great to me. I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Jen says, I've been staying on target diet-wise. Now just got to get exercise back, and I start health coaching school soon. Very nice, very nice. So you are taking the course to become a health coach, or you're going to a coach? Curious about that one. King Neptune. Neptune does best with a 90-10 approach with fasting Monday through Friday, doing 20 hours. Ooh. Hey, that's hardcore. I've been down that road, and it's not always easy, but I know you can adapt to it, right? Charles, you're doggone right. You are doggone right. This is high quality here, and they know it, and I do too. I'm not trying to be, conceited or anything like that, but I know the kind of employee I am. Okay, let's see. Oh, Maureen says, I'm on day 31, but still not losing any weight. One thing I've learned that it's not the carnivore is not the one size fits all. And I don't mean just eating meat, but I mean, some people need more fat. Some people need more longer fasting windows. Some people need less fat. You have to play around with the diet to see what works for you. And until you find that, you might not lose weight. I don't know if you're eating a bunch of dairy. You might need to move your body more. That's one thing. When I went to Lion, and we're talking hardcore Lion, I only did it 3 weeks, but I was already in a place of feeling amazing, doing amazing. I think I had just come off of BBBE. And then prior to that was strict carnivore. But that's when I started feeling my best and losing my weight, when I kicked the dairy. But again, it was only for 3 weeks. And the coffee, I kicked that too. I think I was able to give up dairy and coffee for 2.5, 3 months, somewhere around there. And I felt amazing, but guess what's in my cup today? It doesn't matter how good I feel, and it doesn't matter what health issues I'm trying to avoid. Because I obviously, no matter what my whys are, even my grandkids, right? That this is how serious and how severe food addiction for some people can really be. I have the background of cancer. I've also lost my appendix. I no longer have my ovaries in my tubes. And you would think that eating an optimal diet of mostly meat and dairy, let's just say carnivore, right? Even without seasoning, you would think that knowing this and having all of this information, that I would be able to stick with it, right? And I experienced the great weight loss. I experienced feeling invincible. I felt like a freaking superhero. And the mindset in my mind, I will never go back. Even on a live stream, somebody asked, this is how deep in that hole I was. I mean, it was a good hole to be in, right? But how my mindset was, somebody had asked, Larry and I were doing a live stream, and somebody, they were on carnivore, doing well, trying to get their children acclimated to a healthier lifestyle. And I was under the impression that if it wasn't meat only, it wasn't beneficial. Because, of course, plants are sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, insecticides, all the sides, right? On top of a lot of them being grown in under artificial light. Tomatoes are being grown in the Midwest in mid-winter. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's where my head was. And that's how good I was feeling about things and carnivore only. But here I am. Not back to my old ways, even though I do implement some of my old habits. If I was back to my old ways, I would definitely be 300 pounds and I wouldn't be here right now. So thankful for carnivore and the keto world that here I am. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. This is the only diet that's ever given me a fighting chance. And y'all, when I say diet, it is food and liquid intake. That is what I mean by that. Not foods to lose weight. It's just your diet. Everybody has a diet. Okay, so I'm going to get back into the comments. I tend to blab a little too much, but I'm really glad to be here. I am. Okay, all right, good for you, Jen. So Jen is becoming a health coach. Wow, good for you. That's awesome. That was something I had considered doing, but here I am. I'm struggling. That would be like an alcoholic who returns to the bottle, every couple of months or whatever, I'm just not there yet. But I would love to be in a spot to have such a massive impact on others to where they're so successful right now, and it's been brought up, and sometimes I question that, am I bringing other people down? Not intentionally, not directly, just maybe indirectly, my thoughts. Anyway, Tammy, This is from Sam. Tammy, great advice, especially since Kerrygold is the gold standard. And the whipped butter is from great value. Yeah. Publix, Land O'Lakes, Breakstones probably won't taste as good as Kerrygold. I kind of agree with you. I think Kerrygold is pretty amazing. Although, I like the Danish Creamery. I like the flavor of that. That's really good. And to follow up with that, the Cream Monster. No worries, as long as it's just a splash of cream. Yeah, I'm not doing the lattes every day. It is a splash, but it's still too much, you know. None would be optimal. But I'm thinking real life situations here. That's all. So I managed to get a coworker, well, some information, and see, nobody at work knows that I have a channel. I haven't told them. I just wanted to fly under the radar. I just want to be Cassie, right? But we do talk diet. And one guy recently, so this has been about 2 weeks or so, maybe 2 weeks. It was right before I went on vacation. He decided to give the carnivore diet a chance. He even went with on a personal consultation with Dr. Berry. He's down like 6 pounds. He's not a heavy guy. He has ulcers, and he's been vegan, and he believes that the veganism destroyed his gut. So now he has ulcers and he's not feeling well. Well, he's Italian from New York. He hasn't told his mom what he's doing. He, not carnivore, because for most Italians, especially old school Italians, they're not going to get that. But I'm so happy for him. He's down like 6 pounds. He says he feels incredible. He's like 2 weeks in now. And he feels so very good. And I'm about to tell him and say, look, because we've already talked about it. I've already talked about all my shortcomings. I said, look, ever since starting this job, and really since, it was really since starting the job, I held my own, even though September, I ate a lot of keto foods, right? I just didn't count. But getting into sad foods, that's started, well, maybe, wait, let me go back. Maybe December, maybe around Christmas, because there was a Christmas party. And although I did really good, but the next day the stuff was still there. And the day after that. And then Charlotte came. And then life completely changed with the granddaughter in the area. But, yeah. Anyway, long story short, I told him, I'm not doing so great on the diet, and I haven't been. I said, I'm really struggling here. But I basically told him what so many of you experience and what I've experienced, but he knows I'm not doing all that great, and I'm fighting hard. But I would love to just, kind of tell him. I just don't want, I don't know. I'm not so sure how I feel about everybody knowing. Larry and I, we've talked about it. We said it's just a matter of time. But, yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's share. Let me see. Oh, well, hello, CK. CK Cracknell. Well, thank you. That makes me feel a little bit better. Very cool. What does Sam say? Yes, we are so glad you are here, to Cassie, praying for you and Larry to feel better from your sickness and Larry's nightmare and ear infection. Yeah, he woke up this morning and he wasn't looking too good. He didn't sleep great last night, and the way he described it is there's just all this crackling and popping going on in his ear, and like, one more day. If you're not feeling any better, which I know odds are he won't, not if it's getting worse, he needs to go in and he needs to get on some type of an antibiotic for sure. Thank you, Maureen. I do think that. And I worry about that. We've been called out, like I said, from other, well, I said that in my last video, from other creators. And Larry's even done a video on it. There's a particular channel. I think if you've been with us any amount of time, this is semi-recently. You know who we're talking about. He never specifically named us. but it was indirect. But he had no problem calling out somebody else, which I don't know. All right, anyway, yeah, that comment sticks with me. It does. That comment that other channel made, it really sticks with me. I'm like, am I? And I'm thinking, no, because nobody's bringing me down. The only thing that's bringing me down are like nostalgia. Fall's coming up. In my mind, I've got all these things that, I miss baking. This is where my mindset is, completely different from last year. So it just goes to show, no matter how great you're doing, it doesn't matter. That food noise, it's going to come back. It depends on how deep embedded it is in you. You're not the same as me. Some people are doing amazing, obviously, right? You can go on so many other channels and you're going to see all these great success stories. And I'm so happy for those people. I'm so proud of them because we've all been there. And that's all where we want to be. This is not where I want to be saying, I am not doing so well. I'm backsliding. I'm putting on tens of pounds again. And never thought I'd be here again. I never in a million years did I think I was going to be in this spot again. I thought I would have lost all of my weight by now. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not at my highest and I'm not at my lowest, and I feel all right. Hey, Cynthia. Hi. It's good to see you too. Cynthia's been with us a long time. Good to see you behind the mic. It's good to be back. I'm considering doing a video today, but I'm not sure what I want to do. I was thinking, question for anybody who's in here, and if you'd like to answer, you can answer. If not, that's cool too. So our most successful video, and I think this is the most helpful video of almost all the ones that we've put out, is that chuck roast video. That has over 1 million views. It's by far the cleanest, easiest, and most delicious and satiating recipe that is probably on the internet today. It's not mine. I can't claim it. I didn't come up with it. This is old world. We need to get back to basics, folks. Some of these recipes that we have, and I'm just as bad as producing some of that content. I'm just as much to blame because I like food. I like the way it tastes. What can I say? But we need to get back to basics. If you're really strict and you're really serious, which I'm not right now, that's not where my head is. I'd like for it to be there, but it's just not, and I don't know how to get there. But my point is, very long story short, we're just taking the long way around for this part of the conversation. We're taking the scenic route. What have you done differently? Now, the recipe I put out there is beef, salt, and water. I know almost all of you have tried it, right? And if you haven't, you need to. And no, you don't have to have cast iron, but cast iron definitely makes everything better. So yeah, if you have any things that you've done special to the chuck roast, or if you have any amazing stories, let me know, because I have something in the works for that. Hi, Mandy. Thank you for never giving up. Thank you for not going away. There are so many like you struggling day to day. Like you struggling. You really are so, thank you. That was really sweet, Mandy. I don't know. Like I said in my video, I never intended to be gone as long as I did. It just kind of went into that way. There's a baby and a new job. I have a long commute to work, so I don't know. And I swear I was getting this. Have you ever heard the term texting neck? This is us, right? This was not us in the 70s. This was not us in the 80s, not even the 90s. I got my first cell phone, I think it was 1998. It was from Sprint, and I was amazed, right? Free calls after 9 p.m. But this is us, right? With our phone, texting neck. And that's one concern of mine too, is this was always me. This was me. Hours and hours a day answering comments or creating content on my phone. A lot of Instagram reels. I'd spend hours and hours, and then, or an hour, on this little 60-second clip, and it would just, I'd make one mistake and push back. It wouldn't automatically save it. So that was frustrating too. But I spent a lot of time on my phone, and I'm like, that's not good. That's just not good. So we don't have a team behind us. We don't have somebody answering our comments or coaches or anything like that. Again, we're just an accountability, and I would really love, in the very beginning, probably the first 3 years maybe, we were able to answer every single comment, answer every question. We'd get into email, but now we have these multiple platforms, and our subscriber count is increased. There's just no way. There's just no way I can keep up. And same with Larry. As much as I'd love to, it hurts me because that was a big part of the fun. I mean, my comment back to somebody would be paragraphs, and now it's just lines, maybe 2-3 lines. Sometimes I'll try to get into it, but life gets busy. This isn't my job. Anyway, Nicole, first off, Nicole says, I like your shirt, Cassie. Thank you. She has no gallbladder, reversing metabolic disease, but abdominal pain regularly, and have had tons of medical tests. Always comes back to autoimmune, allegedly. When the belly does not hurt, I feel great. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you thought about, so the abdominal pain, is it, and of course I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. I have very little medical background, but I'm curious, is it after eating a particular type of food? Where are you getting your meat? Are you consuming a lot of cheese? I mean, I'm curious about that, because carnivore isn't the be all end all for reversing disease. It's not the be all end all for feeling great. Eliminating the processed foods, that's your be all end all. But I do believe carnivore, in its most perfect way that you could have it, is the optimal human diet for healing. But I do know somebody who healed or put it into remission rheumatoid arthritis being vegetarian and just eating whole food. So, I mean, I can't attest to that. I can't exactly say that I witnessed it, but this is a very trustworthy source, this person. And so, it's really had me thinking. That was actually back in December we were talking about that. And when I decided to not go through medical treatment, the conventional prescription for cancer, the protocol, chemo, right? They wanted to do 6 months of chemo on me, and I'm like, that just didn't feel right. So I started doing my study. Anyway, my point is, the person who I started following and I started juicing carrots was a guy named Chris Rourke, and he has a channel, Chris Beats Cancer. He's still active. Now, this is 10 years since I've done any of my, almost 10 years, it's 9 years, since I started researching and I came across him, which led me to keto, which led me to carnivore, and etc. But he did it. So there's got to be something there. There's something there. I think that all too often, if it's not meat only, it's demonized. And not everybody's going to agree with me on that, and that's fine. That you're entitled to your opinion. This is my opinion. No, I don't have a medical study to back it up, or the 3 letters behind my name, like PhD, MD, or anything like that. I don't have that, okay? I'm not a medical doctor, but I've eaten enough food to know when I'm feeling really good, and I've talked to enough people to know that, if you're doing great on a different diet, then why? I also know that my son can have 2 or 3 bites of a piece of cake or cookie, but I can't. I need the whole cake. So we're not all the same. Anyway. Okay, Sam has another question for us. Sam says, I was wondering if you all are much into seafood. I tried fatty fish like sardines, mackerel, kipper herring, and even salmon was too smelly, fishy. I'm with you on that. I'm not a big fan of super fishy fish. I really don't care much for salmon, although I do like the skin, especially if it's been, crisped up. I like a cod, lake perch. I like white flaky fish. Yeah, not a whole lot of people eat seafood. I think it's mostly beef, pork, chicken. Hello, Phil. How are you? Welcome. Nicole. Going to home can chuck this week while it's on sale. Oh, okay. You're going to get chuck roast while it's on sale. Absolutely. Yeah, love the chuck roast. Carnivore Edens. Hello, Juliet. Late. Hello from Springfield, Missouri. Pardon me. Thank you, Lulu. Natural antibiotics. Yeah, what did they do back in the day, right? They didn't have big pharma floating around then. So what did people do to get healthy? High doses of ginger, garlic, oil of oregano. Larry can rub lavender or sage essential oil on the outside of the infected ear downward. I have some of that, so we'll try that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, Anna. I'd like to share my 2 cents. After I danced around with keto, carnivore, vegetarian, etc., I found for myself that I can't stick with diets that are super restrictive. Yes, ma'am. I think for many of us, that's what gets to us. I eventually broke because our meal in last September, it was an amazing meal. I mean, that's where everything started. It was incredible. And maybe that triggered some thoughts like, gosh, why can't I eat like this? Why can't I be like my son? Cody, he's skinny as a rail. I guess he's putting some weight on now, but he's in his mid-30s. But he's always been that type of person that take it or leave it. Oh, it's no big deal. Why am I not like that? Why are we not like that? There's no such thing as opening a bag of potato chips and just having a couple, 2, 3 potato chips. For many of us, it's eating the whole dang bag and then going for something else, right? And then stuffing yourself silly and doing it all over again just an hour or 2 later. It's here. It's that. And eliminating too much, it's no, I don't know. I think for some people, they can handle it better than others, obviously. I'm with you on that, Anna. I think a lot of us are too. And again, we were talking about mourning and grieving, right? And you grieve it. And it also says, I gained all the weight back, so I made my own decision just to walk, because I walk anyways. It doesn't require any extra money, yes. And I'm walking now 6 to 7 miles a day, and I'm feeling better, good, health, and mentally good for you, Anna. That's what I've been talking about. We gotta move. And I know this, just like I know I shouldn't be eating sugar. And I know I shouldn't be, there's a lot of things that I shouldn't be doing, but I do. I get in my own way. It's like, we got to find a way to skirt around that there's got to be a better way. So whether it comes to food or exercise, like I said, I have all this equipment. I even have a bicycle. I love going out for bike rides. I love being in nature, especially when fall is here. And I'm hoping that, we have false fall here in the South right now. It's 60. Yesterday it was 65. Rainy. Felt like fall. But by the end of the week or next week, it'll be hot again. But yeah, anyway, it's getting to that point. There's got to be a way. What does it take? Because all the knowledge in the world, obviously, or all the knowledge that I need in my world, obviously, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. It doesn't matter how much you know. What you know, what's going to kill you or what's going to make you feel better. If you don't apply it, or if you can't for whatever reason, if you don't want to, it doesn't matter how much you know. Uh-oh. When the fam wants Italian, I'm in for steel cage deathmatch. My daughter puts the bread next to me, and she says, "I'm making you stronger, Dad." Oh, that's cruel. That's cruel. What did you do to her? Oh my goodness. Cal, I throw chuck roast in a crock pot with a stick of butter and cook it on slow for 8 hours overnight. Don't even put water, and it can be done from frozen. Just cook it a little longer. Interesting. Okay, I mean, I've done crock pot chuck roast, and it's good. I don't know. I'm kind of in love with the cast iron. It just elevates everything. And I know this for a fact. There's so many foods that I've cooked in that cast iron pan. That cast iron pan has helped me gain a ton of weight and lose health, or lose a ton of weight and gain health from that cast iron. It's a double-edged sword for sure. Okay. Okay, I skipped through. Well, let me go to Tammy. I love all seafood and eat it often. Not a fan of kippers, though. I keep a snack bag of fish packets and Archer or Chomps beef sticks with a bottle of water, and I'll be out for a long time for snacks. That's good. Yeah, yeah, like I said, I like a flaky white fish. I like shrimp. I like lobster, and I also like crab. I love crab. I haven't had king crab in a long time. But yeah, that's something I don't implement enough is seafood. If I ever chose to cheat, I will not sweat it and get back on the wagon. I run through and write out cheat scenarios so I can refer to it and avoid beating myself up at all costs. Serves no purpose. You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, all that negative self-talk, and all it's going to do is just bring more negativity, and then probably lead to stress eating, right? Because you're upset with yourself, and it's like, why don't you just go ahead and gain all your weight back already, fatty? I mean, these are the words that I tell myself too often. I'm very hard on myself. Nicole, no, comes out of nowhere. I tried dairy, no dairy, raw dairy, makes no difference. Okay, we're going back to what she's eating. I tried beef and salt only. Definitely won't leave carnivore. I pray daily for remission. Oh boy. I hear you, Nicole. I mean, maybe you've got some underlying undiagnosed health issues that your body is trying to heal. I don't know. I'm sorry you're struggling right now, because everybody's like, oh, look at me. I lost 5 million pounds on carnivore in just 2 days. You know, you hear that. I know it's a bit of an exaggeration. And you see people doing exceptionally well. And you're like, well, yeah, but what about me? I'm not doing so great. And I've tried everything. I was just going to say something about this, because you also said I agree with you about the medical system. Absolutely. But you see, I agree about the meat. I'm in this for the long haul. I heard some carnivores, it says it takes 3 years to heal. I wish I had a doctor like Barry or Hampton. And you know, you can do phone calls, video calls with them. I don't think your insurance coverage covers it. And if you can afford it, I would definitely give it a shot. Nicole, I've had my gallbladder removed due to different drugs I was on for breast cancer in 2018. Remission 7 years. Congratulations. Fighter, warrior. I had to add fatty foods. Back slowly. Yeah, I'm not sure what conversation we're talking about, but we're talking about fat, and I can't do a lot of fat. I mean, unless let's just say, unless I want to poop my pants. Gosh, saying it out loud. Oh my gosh, it's true though. It's so true. It's not my favorite thing. It's the least favorite thing, honestly. Love tuna, salmon, sardines. Don't like, but health benefits are great. Lots of mustard. Yeah. I like tuna patties and salmon patties. That could actually make it tolerable. You put enough, like you said, with the mustard, Make like a mustard dipping sauce. That'd be great. Papa Frank in the house. My daughter has lost 43 pounds eating basically anything she wants in small portions. She's been amazing. I have no control over the amount I eat, so I do carnivore. Yeah, good for her. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not the be-all end-all. Now, metabolically speaking, 10 years down the road, I don't know. I don't think the studies put out there are completely reliable. Whether it's veganism, vegetarian, the whole, I mean, there are too many variables, right? You're taking studies from people. You don't know what they're doing in their time off. You know? I mean, these studies could be severely tainted. We don't know. So, I don't know. I take any bit of information, not as gospel, but I take what I need and I leave the rest because there's just too much room for error. All right, Cindy. I've been healed of cervical, kidney, lung, and ovarian cancer at different stages in my life over the past 25 years and never went through chemotherapy. All natural, all diet, and not always carnivore. Yes. See, there we go. That's awesome. Damn, Cindy, you've been through it. You have been through it. Wow. Wow, you're a real warrior. You are a real warrior. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. Becky, that's another thing too. Obsessing about food, whether it's good food or bad food. It's like ever since, I don't know, sometimes I'm just tired of thinking about it. I'm so sick and tired of thinking about food. What am I going to eat? What can I eat? What should I eat? Are there too many chemicals in this? Is this meat good enough? Is it going to give me the right? I mean, there are a million questions that swirl and comments and thoughts that swirl around in my head about food. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for sharing your story of healing, Cindy. Absolutely. It's not be all end all. It's not one size fits all. Then here we go into the blue zones. Absolutely, Gidget. The blue zones eat whole foods, but they also have community interaction between generations. And they work in their garden. Exactly. I mean, those people are walking and they're not in a highly polluted area. They don't have 15 McDonald's around the corner from them, you know, and then commercials to boot. I mean, I don't know about you, but every time I go to the local grocery store, there is a Burger King. And you smell it, you know, the aroma wafts through the air. I don't know. It's hard to steer clear of that. So, and they don't have that in the blue zone, you know. They don't have a bakery in every single town. I mean, maybe they do, but they're using better ingredients. They're not using the crap that we have here with the artificial dyes and the high fructose corn syrup, and you all know. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. But yes, I love the cast iron chuck roast. One of the best of Cassie's recipes. It's not even my recipe, but hey, Jen, it's good to see you. That is old world recipe right there. That's what they've been doing for a very long time. I just saw it. I was looking up BBBE recipes and I just used the cast iron. I'm like, okay, the salt. So anyway, I've got a video idea for that. And yeah. Let's see. Oh, hello, Amber. How are you? She says, sorry I'm late, y'all. Good news and bad news. Good. I got the job. Congratulations. Bad. I won't be able to make the morning lives for a while. Good morning, Cassie. How's everyone doing today? Oh, well, Amber, you got to do what you got to do, Mama. Congratulations. Pardon me. I'm actually feeling a lot better today. I know it doesn't sound like it. Congratulations on the job. I hope it's an amazing job and you love it and love going to it. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Okay. When I start to crave non-carnivore foods, I eat butter. Laugh out loud, but seriously, it works. I never thought there would be a day that I wouldn't eat butter unless I had a stick of bread, a loaf of French bread to go with it. I love butter, but I find myself, like even at work, we got those little containers, right? Where you just peel off the foil and you got a little pat of butter there. I'll pop that, and I enjoy eating butter solo. Never used to be that way. How things change. Mama P's in the house. Good morning. Good to see you, Mama Cass. It's good to see you too. All right, let's see. I'm unlike Larry, I can't answer every comment, but he will too. I kind of like to stay a little more current with the conversation. He'll be back an hour. He'll be behind an hour. Ah, you got fake fall? Yes, it's fake fall here in Western North Carolina too. I love it. I'm burning autumn candles and enjoying the break from the heat. Erica, so this is what I started doing. I don't know if anybody else is the same way. If you are, let's chat about this. Candles. First off, I used to make candles. It was just a hobby. I enjoyed doing it. I even sold some, like at a craft fair. But I love candles. I love to smell them. I love the glow that comes from them. However, I don't know how good they are anymore. They've got this metal in there, in the wicks a lot of times, and you're burning that, and then you got the soot. I'm not overly concerned with the soot, but the chemicals that are in the candles. So right now on my stovetop, I have a pan with water, and I've done this before, but this is where I am. I'm trying to eliminate any scented candles, anything that's really not super pure. Just trying to eliminate, toxins one little by little. But I'm burning. I took some maple extract and some pumpkin pie spice and a little extra cinnamon, and on a very low setting. It's kind of like potpourri, right? I'm just boiling it on the stove. The house smells amazing. And yes, it smells fall. Enjoy the break from the heat and the false fall. Okay. I've utilized GLP-1s with carnivore because my body was so inflamed, and it's been a game changer. It's not cheating. It's literally helping my body do what it was broken down on its own. Hey, a lot of people take that. If that's what works for you, that's great. I think there's a fine line with that, though. And this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to knock anybody down in any way, shape, or form. Many people have had bariatric surgery only to gain their way back. Many people, such as myself, have been on an amazing diet journey thinking you're never going to go back to that way, and the regain occurs. This is something that concerns me, similar to like the fen-phen, right? It works when you're on it, just like the diet. It works when you're on it. The GLP, the pharmaceuticals, they're going to work when you're on it. Working out works when you're doing it. That's my concern. A lot of people reached out to me about GLP-1, and I thought, for me personally, and I promise I'm not trying to knock anybody, you do what you want. There's a lot of people at work that are on this, and to each their own. But if you don't stay on it, and unless you've been able to train yourself, I honestly thought that, me personally, I would have been able to train myself being on carnivore as long as I have, and to block out the food noise. But that's not the case. I'm glad it's helping you, and I really hope that you are in training, as I'm talking about the training. I hope it works out for you. I worry because people, they, like I said, bariatric surgery, they've gained all their weight back. I know my cousin, she was one, and then other carnivores who have been on here. There are quite a few people in our group who've had the bariatric surgery. I'm not knocking it at all, and I don't believe it's cheating. I believe it's a tool. I just hope that you're doing well on it. Gidget says, Cassie, I've been struggling for over a year trying to get back on. I just saw a pic of myself from over 2 years ago. I look so much better now, way healthier despite the binging. Making progress, right? And this just goes to show that it's even carnivore. Carnivore isn't the be all end all. It's not going to eliminate all the food noise, because if it did, there wouldn't be a regain. I just think some people metabolically, biologically handle it better. Just like working out. Some people handle it better. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Thank you for stopping by, Nicole. I hope you have a great chiropractic visit. All right, let's see, Cindy. Erica. I make the chuck roast recipe just the way you taught it, and the family loves it too. I add a little extra seasoning sometimes, yeah. It's tried and true. I mean, who would think that 3 ingredients, beef, salt, and water, who would think that it would make something so good, but it does. Yes, Tammy. I make salmon patties with salmon, egg, and Parmesan cheese. Yeah, when Larry and I first got onto Atkins, that's when we were initially introduced to the salmon patties with the pork rinds. And believe me, back then, that was like 10 years ago, the pork rind chunks were a lot thicker than they are now. There wasn't a porking good pork rind mix. Hey, John. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So glad you're here. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I believe me, people have been trying to talk me into taking it. But you know, I'm not. It's just, yeah. I don't burn my candles, just open the lids, enjoy the smell so I don't deal with the toxins when burning. I mean, you can get like a soy candle. Most soy candles, they have like essential oils in them to go to a local candle maker, and you'll have better luck with that. But I just started burning it, and I don't know. Sam Sapphire says, hello. I was wondering if y'all found the potion for loose stools. How is that being ketovore? Even when I tried avocado and salad, I would still have the runs. Less fat helps, but no energy. Yeah, I think for many of us, that is definitely, it's still a struggle. You know, for whatever reason, just me changing up my diet when I went to Ketovore, it helped. It's not the be all end all. I still have urgent PMs. But yeah, I don't know, Sam. I've some people, I think they said bentonite clay. It's not anything that I've tried, because it seems like every method I try that somebody says, like with the hot flashes, somebody had mentioned black cohosh. Tried it, didn't work. Cinnamon pills, tried it, didn't work. It wasn't for me. Maybe I'm not giving it long enough. I really don't know. But I try not to put too much weight, too much stock in anything. Oh, that's interesting. The candle glow is great as red light therapy. Good point about the fake scents, though. I wonder if we put a mason jar of orange cinnamon in a candle warmer. Oh, yeah. So are you talking like the essential oils, or like actual orange peels and like a cinnamon stick? I mean, basically potpourri, right? Aaron says, I knew that if I knew then what I know now, years ago, I was 330 pounds. I had gastric bypass. I won't lie. It probably saved my life, but there were not channels like this on social media. Ken Berry, Jason Fung. Awesome. So, I mean, it worked for him, but I mean, he's still having food noise. You know, I mean, we still have to deal with that. Oh gosh, sorry, Cal, 95 degrees. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Boom. There you go. Erin, you hit the nail right on the head. This is a marathon. This is life, folks, not a sprint. Sometimes you have to slow down and refocus on a run rather than pick up the pace and back up. That's so true. That is so true. This is lifelong. It's not a one and done. It's not a one shot. And for many of us, why we are all here. There's currently 86 people. We've had up to 100 today. But we know this all too well. And it's more of a struggle for some than others. You're absolutely right. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Glad to see you. You're not late. You're right on time, even though I am going to be getting off here. I've been in a little over an hour, but I'm going to get to a few more comments, and then I've got some things. I've got the whole life thing, you know? Oh, this is going to be perfect. Okay, Erin, side note, my chick roast, I know you meant chuck roast. That's cute, though. Actually is a little tough, not falling apart. Cooking too high of temp, not long enough. Stick with the 350. Make sure there's enough water in there, and go beyond the cooking time. You're not going to overcook that meat. I mean, you can, but not half hour is not going to overcook that meat. If it's not fall apart tender, you need to keep going. There's some type of variable that's going on. Maybe you're opening the oven too much and the heat is escaping. Maybe it's just one of those stubborn roasts. It's just going to need a little more time, but just keep going. It will fall apart. Unless you got a terrible cut, which is unlikely, keep cooking it. Yeah, absolutely. We all are, right? So I am, let's see. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Best of luck working out your promotion. Yeah, I hope it works out. If not, it's okay. It's really okay. But I'm going to get to this comment right here. Last year, Dan and I were put on Ozempic. We were given a 3-month supply. After a month, we heard the horrible side effects. We threw the rest out and never took it again. Yeah, that's my concern, are the side effects. Now, people like, Stormy Weather, she's doing swimmingly well on it. And a lot of people do. I just, it's just not me. It's not for me. I know the struggles I have. For criminy sakes, I have a hard enough time taking my thyroid medication on the daily. I would have to say at least one day a week. I'm forgetting to take a pill. So to inject myself every day, every 2 weeks maybe? I don't know. I'm not that organized. I would make a huge mistake. I know it. Break the needle off of me or something. Oh. Yeah, just keep going. Just let it cook. That's the beauty of braising, is it's unlike, grilling or pan searing or anything like that, where you have to do it fairly quickly because you don't want to overcook the meat. This is different. This type of cut, that's basically what it's meant. It works best. It's going to taste its best with the braising method, the low and slow, or just slow. Okay, hi again. Fish oil pills. I heard they're good for your brain, but also heard they're rancid. And yeah, right? I mean, do we really know anything anymore? Because you got one person over here saying this, another person over here saying they did a study saying the complete opposite. We are in a time right now where information, it's just, there's so much, it's overflowing. But who's right? Who is right anymore? And it seems to me that the people are saying, well, my guy's right. Well, why is your guy right? This person is right because they told me this and that. And that's what I tend to believe. Who knows anymore? Like, I'm not trying to knock anybody in any way, shape, or form, but Dr. Chafee and who else? Is it Sally Norton? Saying that plants are trying to kill you. I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't believe that God put all of these delicious plants. Now, what man has done to them, maybe plants are trying to kill us with the crossbreeding and bioengineering. Maybe that's why they're trying to kill us, because they're not in their natural state. They're not being eaten when they're seasonal. They're being sprayed to death. So maybe that has something, with the fish oil. I don't know, because everything is going rancid. Do y'all think it's worth the money? I don't know. Maybe I don't take it. So if anybody has any advice for Sam about fish oil, just fire away. Fire away. That's really a good question. I don't know. Barbara, sweet Cassie, you and Larry are such an inspiration. Thank you for doing these lives. Even if I'm not able to catch them because of work, FYI, this is my first live. I watch them when I get home. Well, I'm glad you're here, Barbara. I'm glad you found the inspiration, and it's not just Larry and I. There are so many amazing people in here who are sharing their victories and what's worked for them and their struggles and what's not working for them. So I don't know, this kind of puts me, in a spot, because I'm not hardcore carnivore anymore, and I don't know what to think anymore, and I don't know what to believe anymore. I know how good I felt even just juicing, and I got almost that same good feeling when I was eating just meat. I was juicing carrots. I had these huge 25-pound bags of carrots in my refrigerator, and I would juice carrots every single day. I'd have a drink, they'd just gulp it, which I've heard reports that maybe you shouldn't do that you're supposed to let your salivary glands do the work. So what's right anymore? Who is right? I'm so sick and tired of trying to sift through the information and find one answer, because there's always going to be somebody who disagrees with the study. Have you seen the debates with Chafee and maybe a vegan doctor? Everybody seems to think they're right, and everybody has a study, and everybody has proof. So I just don't know anymore, and it's very frustrating for me. Or Miss Farm, hey, how are you? Says might be best to stick with fatty fish as a whole food. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that would be certainly better than some rancid pill that you don't know where it's been produced, manufactured, that's the word. You don't know. Yep, Sam says, haha, exactly. I think BBB is good enough for my brain, and I don't need smelly fish oil pills. Only supplements you think is K2, vitamin D, magnesium glycinate, iodine drops, and electrolytes. Oh, okay. Carnivore Collective. I tried fish oil, burped it all the time. Oh, that would be gross. Ugh. Was told to only use products that were refrigerated. Same thing. So you burped it and it was gross. Way too costly. I just eat fish whenever I feel like it. Too many conflicting articles. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's just too much conflict, and everybody seems to be right. And all these people who are right are either a scientist or a doctor. It's like, certainly not everybody is paid by the B system. And not everybody who claims to have good intentions has them. So I don't know. I'm not calling anybody out. I love all the doctors in our space. I do. But, there have been some who have done a complete 180, and they've done a turnaround and say, no, it's not the way. And this'll, I'm not even going to get into what I have thought, my thoughts about this. That'll be a subject for another live or a video or something like that, because it really does deserve more time than I can give it right now. So I'm going to finish up these last two comments, and I think I'm going to call it a day. And I don't know. It's my day off. There's always something to do. I have plenty of things to do. Actually, too many things that I need to do. And I don't have a lot of time. I have to go back to work soon enough here. Whole food with variety is the middle ground, even if mostly animal products. Absolutely. I think whole food is where it's at. Again, though, I think the pickle that we're in is with these garbage vegetables and fruits that are being grown. Yes, they are garbage. You don't know what's good anymore, what hasn't been sprayed, what isn't a Roundup ready seed. That's the issue. But yeah, I don't know. So this is the way I am, because if I was so afraid to eat something, I would starve to death. If I'm so concerned about the air, I would suffocate because I'm not going to breathe, because I'd have to stop breathing. The water, you don't want to drink it because it's tainted. Don't drink the tap water. They're putting this in it. Well, you can't even go out to a stream and drink it because you don't know what it's tainted with either. My point is, nothing is pure anymore. Nobody has the right answer. And we're all just trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out what's best for us. So, I don't know. We'll see. I love y'all. I'm going to finish it up on that. Maybe give you a little food for thought. We are Carnivore Quest. We're not hardcore carnivore. We're not tried and true carnivore. We are trying and we are true, but I don't know. I love y'all, and I thank you guys for being here. I'm just going to read these last comments because I think they deserve it. It's sad that grade comes over people's health. You're doggone right. You're doggone right. I watch too much true crime TV too to see that, and a lot of times it's about money. People are so motivated by money, they couldn't care less about the impact that it's going to have. Ormisella says, yes, quality matters, and you can find it. It's costly, though. We prioritize our grocery budget over clothes and vacations. And you're right. There is a way to do it. Now, there are some people who are on a fixed income, and that's all they get. They can't even afford to go out on a vacation. Heck, they can't even afford to leave their own house. So there's something with that. I mean, we're obviously, we're not all in the same boat, right? You're welcome, Cindy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you were here. Yep. Sam, whenever I catch up, that's going to be my very last one. So I've got two more that I see. I'm glad the weather in SC is having signs of fall, unlike Central Florida. Right, it's sweltering out there. Would you rather have cold Midwest winters or have the South Carolina summer heat? Yeah, I'll take the heat. Those winters are just too long. Thank you, Luz. I love you so much. Yeah, we will. Love you too, Shell Bell. Y'all have a great day. And Ormus says, yes, very true. All right, y'all. Keep rocking away. Nancy, congratulations. Y'all give Nancy a big round of congratulations. She's done amazing. She's on her day 2. So I'm super proud of her. And for the rest of everybody who's anything like me or Nancy, any of us who are really here, who are on the struggle bus, just keep fighting. But we got to get off that bus. We got to find another bus. We got to find the bus onto Easy Street. I love y'all very much. And thanks for swinging by, having this little chit chat with me. And we'll do it again soon. Until the next time, y'all, I love you. No sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. Bye-bye. Bye.